Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA.
Coach, we're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go, D.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wentz. That's caught by Howard. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 1st down, Whitfield. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first down.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage, this time a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Whitfield. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And the Giants send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watch the screen. 6-6. Pull it high.
Now Scott. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
15 line. 15 line. Check.
To throw on 2nd down. Whitfield. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treat it as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, wahoo!
From the gun, Whitfield. And that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
Oh, too amped up there. Got to him before he had a chance to catch it.
Another example of players in tough spots getting the protection that they deserve. Got to make sure that he's able to catch the ball before you get to him.
A lack of discipline defensively on fourth down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Howard, and only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Howard. About 3 yards there to the 27. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Whitfield. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Hey, stand up.
On 1st down, it's Scott, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
It'll be real interesting to take a look at this play later, because on this pitch toss play, I get the sense that he just followed the pulling guard or the pulling offensive lineman through that hole and spilled this play early.
Yeah, because he didn't even get to the outer third of the field. He was tackled in the middle third.
Yeah, when you're talking about a pitch or a toss,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132.5. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Hey, orbit.
Check. 53's right. Check. 53's right. Watch the run. Watch the run. 53's the mic. 53's the mic.
Ready.
Operating from the gun. Whitfield. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to fourth down.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And given the elements, this might have been what we would have expected, Charles. Scoreless into the second quarter.
The elements have definitely played a part in this game, a big part. And I think that both teams have been a little slow to adjust their playbook and start playing to whatever their strengths are in these conditions.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Beats that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
4 down.
Shotgun now for Wentz. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Yeah, baby.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Wentz. Got his target, Samuel. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Hey, Haywood.
57's the mic. 57's the mic.
Go out. Hard. Shoot.
Off the play fake. Whitfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Extra point forthcoming. good to make it 14-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. They've been faced with a tough test today here. Crowd's been really good. They're struggling. He's struggling. We'll see if they can pick things up.
And the crowd has had an impact, and they feel good about that because he's not playing very well, not getting the ball to the right places, not doing the things he normally does. He's got to find a way to turn it around against this hostile group.
Yeah, because on the road, don't you look to your quarterback a lot?
You have to, because you certainly can't look to the crowd to help you. They're there to be against you, so your quarterback has to lead you. And the best way he can do it is to play well.
They'll run on first down. Scott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. From the gun, Whitfield. Catch made by Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike. Get him, get him, get him.
Operating from the gun, Whitfield. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Isaiah McKenzie that time. That'll bring up second down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant.
Hey, Echo.
Check, 53's Mike. Check, 53's
Lee Griffin.
Throwing again, Whitfield. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Giants on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Whitfield. He finds Coleman. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 22-yard line.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Scott. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Alpha.
Check. Check. Hatchet. Check.
Screen. Get it.
On 2nd down now, it's Scott. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
Rock it. Hey, Delta.
From the gun, Whitfield. And this is complete. It's Allen. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking.
Pass block a lot on this drive, where they'll be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game.
Second and 6. Escaping the pressure right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Hey, do.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike.
Operating from the gun. Whitfield to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now this throw caught left side, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Wentz. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Wentz to throw. Caught here by Conley. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Wentz again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. So that'll back him up 5.
Come on now, let's go.
That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. Again, it's Wentz. He leads this one for Howard. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. So we have an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think that they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Back to the air on 2nd down. Whitfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
53 is the mic. Man, I got you. Man, I
From the gun, Whitfield eluding the pressure right. It's caught. Shepard. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Here we go. Set. 70. Indy.
Ricky.
Big rip.
On first down, Scott. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 13 yards, good for a giant first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
General West. Hey, Foxtrot.
Check 24. Slam.
They'll run with Scott. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball sense of the running game.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Hey, lock it.
Rush in.
Now.
On second down, it's Scott. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
From the 32 now. Here's first and 10. Barber on first and 10. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, Sam off. Look at me. Door.
2nd and 9 now. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
You're out.
You can't block me. Flare.
Ready?
Operating from the gun, Whitfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. The intended receiver there, Allen. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go with Howard again.
All day,
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
To throw, it's Wentz. He finds Howard complete. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Nice, sweetheart. Hey, Steve 6. Hard. Let's go. Look, squeeze. Shoot.
To throw again. Whitfield. They'll roll him out right. And that'll be incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
53, Mike.
To throw on 3rd down. Whitfield. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out now come the Eagles. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Quick pass to the outside, caught by Conley. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And the Giants ready to come out now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3-and-out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. 13 yards, good for a giant first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Ready. 50, plant. Go. 57, run.
Looking to throw on second down. Whitfield. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Check. 53 is mine. Check. 53 is mine. Watch the twist. 53 is the mic. 55.
From the gun, Whitfield. And Ingram hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. On the carry, this is Scott. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 13 yards, good for a giant first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They go again with Scott. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down.
60 Pittsburgh.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Giants on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, wahoo!
53 is the mic. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Ready?
Looking to throw. Whitfield. This is Coleman with a grab. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Loaded.
They'll run on first down. Scott. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Scott, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it first and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be second and goal. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Keenan Allen with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
A pass complete here to Conley. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies. In on the tackle, it was Duke Ejiofor.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. Third down here. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rock it.
On first down, Scott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Watch twitch. Go.
They go back to the ground, this time Barber. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well. A nice play on that situation.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Whitfield, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Get some penetration here.
On 3rd and short, going with a tight end. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Matt Wild now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about the 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
53 to Mike. 53.
Leo. Get it.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. He's maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Back to throw. Forced out to his left. And oh, that is going to be a safety. That should be the nail in the coffin with those 2 points, making this a 2-score game now with time, Charles, clearly not on their side.
Yeah, they have to give the football away as well. Had a chance. Yeah, it was a small chance to get down the field, but guess what? This one's now just about over.
Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up. Mike,
Here we go. 180.
watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They run with Howard. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency.